Hi everyone, my name is Mahesh and I'm here to teach you the trigonometry and the basics of trigonometric ratios. Okay, let's get into the basics of the trigonometry. First, what we know about trigonometry. Trigonometry is the formation of three words which are the Greek letters called tri, gon, and metron. Tri indicates three, and gon indicates sides, and metron indicates the measure. So basically, it's the measure of a three-sided figure, that is a triangle. So trigonometry is completely based on a triangle and exclusively on the right angle triangle. So let's understand the basics of trigonometry. See, have you ever imagined how a tall structure has been measured? Yeah, it's basically with the trigonometric ratios. I'll explain you how. Uh, Let us imagine that you are standing in front of a tall building or a tall tree or a tall structure at a certain distance from the building's foot. So you are looking at the top of the building and trying to make a formation of right angle triangle from your side and the top of the building and the base of the building. So that forms a right angle triangle. So now the right angle triangle has been formed and the angle which you are looking at would be the known angle. Let us say it is about 45 degrees. So you have an angle and you need to measure the height of the building. Do you know how? So don't worry, I will teach you how and what are the basics and the trigonometric ratios and the identities established with the ratios and everything else. So so the trigonometric ratios are of mainly six types. They are sine, cosine, tan. So they are mainly sine, cosine, tan, cot, secant, cosecant. So sine, actually trigonometric ratios is the side ratio of the sides of the right angle triangle made or formed. So let us get to the first trigonometric ratio, sine. Sine is actually the ratio of the length of the sine is actually the ratio of the length of the opposite side to the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is actually the main, I mean the largest side of the right angle triangle. So sine is equals to sine is equals to so sine is equals to sine is equals to uh, opposite side by hypotenuse. What does it mean? So let us assume the previous case, which you are looking at tall building. So the opposite side of you, assuming at a point, would be the length of the building, and the hypotenuse would be the distance from your side to the top of the building. So if you know the distances, if you know the distance of the hypotenuse, that is the side length of the side of the eye and the top of the building, and the angle by which you are looking at the top of the building, you can easily find the height of the building. Suppose let us assume you are looking at an angle of 30 degrees at the top of the building, and the distance from your side and the top of the building is let's say 100 meters. So what would be the height of the building? So here comes the uh, trigonometric ratios and the use of trigonometric ratios. As we have discussed, there are the six different types of trigonometric ratios. Uh, the the sign Every trigonometric ratio is associated with its own values. Suppose let us get into the details of sine. Sine theta. We generally measure trigonometric ratios in the form of theta. So let us take an example. What is the sine 0? Sine 0 is actually 0. That means when sine 0, that means when there is no angle inclined, that means the line of sight is parallel to the distance between you and the object, then the height would be 0 actually. So uh, so what is sine 30? Sine 30 is 1 by 2. So how can you calculate the how can you calculate the building? So how can you calculate the height of the building? from this. So let us assume, as we have already assumed, you are looking at the angle of 30 degrees. Now sine 30 would be 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 will be equals to the ratio of height of the building and the distance between the site and the top of the building. As we have already assumed, that is 100 meters. So 1 by 2 will be equals to distance. So 1 by 2 will be equals to height of the building by 100 meters. So the height of the building, if we calculate, we get the height of the building as 50 meters. That is it. So this is the use of trigonometric ratios and trigonometric this is the use of trigonometric ratios. We can use it to measure the distance, heights and angles and length of the sides, etc. Actually, trigonometric ratios was first proposed by Aryabhatta, and then it was traveled across all the countries. And let's get deeper into the trigonometric ratios. As we know that there are six types of trigonometric identities. As we know that there are six types of trigonometric ratios, there are some identities associated with it. So for example, the first, there are three identities in trigonometric. They are sine square theta plus cos square theta is equals to 1. So that means when an angle is given and the square of the sine of the angle and the square of the cos of the angle in addition will be always equal to 1. So let us take an example. Let us assume an angle 0 degrees. So sine square 0 plus cos square 0 is equals to, sine 0 is actually 0 as we know already. So sine square 0 will be 0 and cos 0 is actually 1. So 1 square will be 1. 0 plus 1 would be 1. So that is equal to 1. This is same at all the cases of all angles. So that's it about trigonometry and the basics of trigonometric ratios. So let's see you in the upcoming sections. Thank you.